And we would like to welcome you to our third annual Read with the Farmer. We have an exciting presentation planned for you. Miss Paula Pangle lives here in the Imperial Valley and is going to read a book called Right This Very Minute. She is a very active member in the community. Thank you so much to our sponsors, the University of California Farm Smart, Imperial County Farm Bureau, Imperial Valley Vegetable Growers Association, Farm Credit West, and Imperial Valley H2O for sponsoring this event. I would also like to thank Mrs. Pangle for joining us and volunteering to be our reader. Could you please introduce yourself and tell us all a little bit about yourself and your involvement in the agricultural industry here?
Thank you, Maddie. Well, good afternoon, boys and girls, and thank you so much for inviting me to be with you today. And hopefully you're going to have a lot of fun. As Maddie said, I'm Paula Pangle, and I'm a fourth-generation farmer here in Imperial Valley. And I still live and work on McConnell Ranch. McConnell Ranch is quite old. It's been in existence for 112 years. And to make it easy for you to remember McConnell Ranch, all of you remember the song, Old MacDonald Had a Farm, E-I-E-I-O? Well, this is Old McConnell Had a Farm. And to make it short, you can call me Miss Mac. McConnell Ranch was established in 1908. So as I said, it was 112 years old. And when it was first established, my great-grandfather and grandfather, they turned sand hills into a productive farm. And they turned it into a productive farm by using only big draft horses. They didn't have tractors, so they were using big draft horses. And my grandfather helped dig the All-American Canal. The All-American Canal is where all of your water comes to your town for us to have water. So for all of us to have water, it comes through just that one canal. And my grandfather helped dig it. And in fact, my father, he was in about third or fourth grade then, and he would help bring fresh teams of horses to the dig site. So he would ride one big horse and lead three others, and he would do that a few times a day. So in those days when they were very young, they would help. I'd like to tell you a little bit about our farm. We currently grow organic produce, organic vegetables. So McConnell Ranch is where I live and work, and you can see it says organic produce. And this is me out in the field harvesting spinach. And some of the things we grow, this is leaf lettuce, if I get up here, carrots, tomatoes. And I'd like to show you this, share this with you. We were transplanting broccoli. So this is a broccoli transplanting machine. So they're transplanting. Here is after it was transplanted and is in the field. And then here's the broccoli when it's being harvested. So that's on our little ranch. So today we're going to read a story. And it's a very nice story. It's a story, it's like, if you can think when you're really hungry and want to eat, and you say, I want to eat right now, or I want to eat right this minute. So this is our story called Right This Very Minute. What's that, you say? You're hungry for breakfast? Right this very minute? Then you need a farmer. You have the stories of so many right here on your table. Can you see those yummy pancakes? If you like pancakes, raise your hand. Oh, I see some of you like pancakes. Right this very minute, in a citrus grove, a grower tests oranges for ripeness. When the fruit is ready, the harvesting crew will pick the oranges, which will be squeezed into the juice you drink in the morning. How many of you drink orange juice? Raise your hand. Yes, I drink orange juice also. Right this very minute, in a new field on a wheat farm, a farmer drills furrows, the perfect depth for seeds. Your pancakes were made with wheat that was grown, harvested, and then ground into flour. Right this very minute, in a sugar bush filled with maple trees, a sugar maker replaces the collection buckets with a new tubing system to carry maple sap to a storage tank. The sap will be boiled down in evaporators until it becomes thick and sweet, like the maple syrup you've poured on your pancakes. Who eats maple syrup on their pancakes? I see some of you do. What's that, you say? You'd like a snack right this very minute? Then you need a farmer. Wow, look at that yummy snack. Looks like trail mix, doesn't it? You have the knowledge of so many right here in your hands. Right this very minute, as the sun sets on a cranberry marsh, a grower starts protecting the crop from frost. The grower will be up all night checking the sprinklers that keep the plants from freezing. Also, cranberries can become part of your trail mix. Who eats trail mix? I do. Oh, I see some of you do also. Right this very minute, on a southern farm, a peanut farmer installs soil sensors to make sure the fields aren't too wet or too dry. The sensors help the farmer decide when and how much water those sensitive plants. So from peanut plants to harvesting the peanuts, what do you think they make? Peanut butter. You guys are so smart. What's that, you say? It's time for lunch? Right this very minute? Then you need a farmer. You have the hard work of so many right here in your lunchbox. Right this very minute, a dairy farmer tends to cows. The cheese in your sandwich was made with milk from cows that must be milked at least twice a day, every day, whether it's a weekday, a Saturday, a birthday, or a holiday. Yep, those cows need to be milked twice a day, every day. Right this very minute, farmers till and test the soil for nutrients to make sure it's healthy before planting seeds that will grow into long, crunchy carrots. How many of you eat carrots? Raise your hand. Yes, I do too. And don't they say carrots help our eyesight? Yes, very important for us to eat yummy carrots. Right this very minute, an apple grower works with a beekeeper to bring beehives into an orchard. Hundreds of thousands of honeybees will pollinate the pink blossoms, helping each tree grow many bushels of apples for you to enjoy. How many of you eat apples? Raise your hand. I do too. And like the old saying goes, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. What's that, you say? You're ready for dinner? Right this very minute? Then you need a farmer. You have the pride of so many right here on your plate. Right this very minute, a cattle rancher moves the herd to a wide pasture to graze. She cares for the cows and welcomes their calves into the world. When the calves are old enough, they will move to new pastures or feed yards before they are harvested for the beef that will be made into hamburgers. Who likes hamburgers? Oh, looks like everyone likes hamburgers. How about those yummy French fries with those hamburgers? Yep, some of you like those also. Right this very minute, a farmer plans a crop rotation schedule to keep the soil healthy and grow more of the very best vegetables, like the potato you've topped with broccoli and cheese. Right this very minute, some farmers prepare produce for delivery to grocery stores, and others box it up to sell at local farmers markets. Before lettuce and tomatoes ever get tossed in a salad or put on top of a hamburger, they must travel from the farm to hungry customers, just like all of you. What's that, you say? You'd like dessert? Right this very minute? Then you need a farmer, and sometimes a whole farming family. You have the dedication of so many right here on your fork. Wow, that looks yummy, doesn't it? Right this very minute, a grower checks the weather forecast in a family-owned strawberry patch, while workers help hundreds of visitors pick their own strawberries. How many of you gone and picked strawberries? Raise your hand. Oh yes, a lot of you have done that. That's a lot of fun. Right this very minute, a family checks their backyard coop to make sure the chickens have enough feed and fresh water. Then they collect eggs that get made into foods like the shortcake in your bowl. What's that, you say? You want to grow your own food right this very minute? Then you need to think like a farmer. You can help plant a garden right here in your community. Right this very minute, you and your friends, family, and neighbors can work together to choose which crops to grow in your gardens. In a few months, you will enjoy healthy snacks and meals made with the fruits and vegetables you harvest yourselves. Every single day of every year, farmers tend to their crops, care for their animals, and work hard to feed their families and yours. Next time you eat your breakfast, snack, lunch, dinner, or dessert, remember that somewhere, right this very minute, there's a farmer to thank for your delicious food. And if someday you decide to become a farmer, right this very minute, you'll be doing your part to feed the world too. And that's the end.
Okay, well, thank you very much. I kind of got hungry after reading that book.
Me too.
I know one question that a lot of boys and girls like to know is, what is your favorite vegetable?
Probably broccoli, but I like a lot of them.
What do you think is the hardest thing a farmer has to do?
Rules and regulations. It's not the fun part either.
Yeah, but that keeps our food safe, right?
Yes, we do a lot to make sure our food is safe. Not only do the farmers, they're the stewards of the soil and of the crop. They keep their food safe and your food safe and the food for their own family, but even the state and the federal government has guidelines to make sure our food is always safe for us to eat.
Are some vegetables more difficult to grow than others?
Oh, most definitely. And as you know, we have a lot of enemies of our vegetables out in the field. There's not only insects that want to eat it, just like we want to eat those vegetables, but there's also diseases and also weeds that try to compete for it. But so some are more susceptible to diseases and insects than others, and some are just a little bit more delicate. And there's some plants that are more hardy, so there are some that are harder than others.
I know lots of questions this week that we had from other students were about there were animals in the book, and maybe about some of the animals that are on farms and ranchers here in Imperial Valley. What are the most kind of animals we have here on farms in the valley?
We have mostly cattle. In fact, cattle are our #1 dollar producing product in Imperial Valley, and it has been pretty much the entire time the valley's been in existence. And so, yeah, it's the #1 cash value crop. They call cattle a crop even though they're a live animal.
We have one of our participants that wants to know, how do you become a farmer?
Oh, any way you want, you can think of. In fact, it's not only just being a farmer actually out and growing it. So you can visit farms, you can visit Farm Smart, which Stephanie, I think, will share with us. And also, anytime you have any questions, you can call our Ag Commissioner. You can visit Imperial Valley Vegetable Growers Association, Farm Bureau, IVH2O, or if you happen to see someone, you just ask them, and we would love to share it with you. And we encourage everyone to find out about agriculture. It is a fabulous career, and we would love to have you join us.
Which vegetable grows the fastest?
Probably on our farm, it would be the baby spinach. We can harvest, if it's still warm, we can harvest it in as little, we've done it in as little as 28 days.
Wow, that's fast.
Yes.
It's really fast.
Of course, remember, it's baby spinach.
That's true. So it's just,
yeah. So as soon as it gets up and tall enough where it can be cut.
There's a question in the Q&A. She is asking, do you like every vegetable, or is there a vegetable that you do not like?
You know, there is one that kind of got spoiled for me when I was a little kid, and they were the really large lima beans. And we were at a friend's house, and her mother had cooked them so long they were like mush. And so ever since then, I haven't particularly cared for lima beans.
Why don't we ask our participants to type their favorite vegetable in the chat?
Oh, I'd love to know all your favorite vegetables.
So why don't you take a few seconds, those of you who are listening, to type your favorite vegetable in, and we'll see if there's any consensus there.
We have a really good question that came into the chat while we're waiting for those. What does organic mean?
Organic means it's been grown with nothing that is artificial. Everything is naturally occurring. So that means all the fertilizers, no GMOs. So anything that is natural. And now a lot of people think organic means no pesticides. But a pesticide is actually anything like a doctor would use for you for medicine. So there are products that are used that are naturally occurring, such as like pyrethrin, which is comes from a chrysanthemum. So there are products that are naturally occurring that we can use on an organic, but it's everything that's natural. There isn't anything synthetic.
We've got some questions to our, some answers to our favorite vegetables coming in. I put in cauliflower, but other participants have said Brussels sprouts. Do we grow Brussels sprouts here in the Valley?
There are some, very few.
Yeah, and then we have asparagus, rice. Now, rice is not a vegetable, it's a grain. Can you share some other grains that we grow here in the Valley?
Well, we grow most small grains, so it'd be wheat and barley. We grow some millet. Let's see, what else do we grow? It's a grain, Stephanie.
I guess corn could be a grain.
It could be,
depending
yes.
Depending on where you find it on your plate, it could be a vegetable or a grain, depending on how it's used. But we don't grow much rice here, but we do grow rice in California.
Yes,
So,
I don't think we grow any rice here.
No, I don't think so, but we do grow it in California. And then carrots is coming in. I don't know if I'm seeing all of them. So there's a good variety there. Potatoes. Someone wants to know, what is the most delicate vegetable to grow?
The most delicate, let's see. Well, spinach is sometimes real delicate because of the disease spectrum there. I don't know, we all think that crops are pretty tough because they're grown outside in all kinds of weather, and we just can't grow things when it's hot.
Now, we've observed also that a lot of the harvesting is done at nighttime, and that sometimes those specialty lettuces and spinach, is that also harvested at nighttime?
Oh, yeah, they'll harvest it 24/7. And we don't stop anything just because it's night or a holiday or Christmas or a birthday. Everything keeps right on going.
Right, when it's ready to be harvested, it's ready to be harvested. There's somebody out there who needs a salad. So you want to share with us about how much vegetable production there is here in Imperial Valley, especially during the winter time?
Yeah, you know, we're real lucky, boys and girls. You live in a valley that is so important in the winter months. Between our neighbor, Yuma, and Imperial County, so this valley, we produce about 80% of all the winter vegetables. So we're a really important area to help feed the United States.
That's awesome.
And so you should be very proud of that.
So in the wintertime, there could be someone in New York that's having a salad that was grown in Imperial County, so right where we live.
Exactly, or a soup, or who knows what. Yes. And I think Stephanie should share with us about the Farm Smart program because it is such a fabulous program.
Sure. Boys and girls, if you don't know about Farm Smart, let me tell you a little bit about it. Farm Smart is a program for boys and girls. We mostly focus on kids K through 6. And you can come to our farm and we teach you about where your food comes from. So we have a classroom and we have it all set up to learn about sun, seed, soil, air, and water. And we learn about the water that comes here and about how much sun we have. And we show you all kinds of different seeds. And we have activities that go along with each one of those things that plants need to grow. And then we have a hay wagon that Miss Stacy and I get on the tractor and we drive the hay wagon around our farm. It's 255 acres. And we have a garden there and we plant the garden and we let children and families pick their own vegetables. And there is nothing better than a carrot that you picked yourself out of the ground. It's going to be the best tasting carrot you ever had because you picked it yourself. So learning where your food comes from is very, very important. It's for your food safety, and it's also for your nutrition to know about food and what's good for your body. So we teach that too. So we hope that a lot of families come to Farm Smart when we're able to have tours again. And like us on Facebook, like us on Instagram, and you'll be able to see all of our events going on. We're going to take one last question. What are some ideas for vegetables you could grow inside your house?
Oh my goodness. Well, if you've got a sunny window, I would start with some of the easy things, like some of the herbs like basil and cilantro and dill and chives. Those grow quite easily. In fact, you can even do them in an egg carton and do them in that. And in fact, stores a lot of times will sell little kits that will help you do that. But if you have a sunny window, you can grow a lot of things.
We want to thank everyone for joining us today. Thank you, Mrs. Pangle, for joining us today. We appreciate your enthusiasm for agriculture. We thank you for growing our food. We thank you for helping us to understand more about where our food comes from. It's been a really fun week being in classrooms and being with our guests today. And we want to thank all of our sponsors who helped put these events on. And we hope to be live in person next year in classrooms and in libraries around our Imperial Valley. With that, we're going to close the meeting.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.